Hello, I'm Anna Holland, Associate Curator of the Iowa Women's Archives. In this video, I'm going to show you how to access primary sources located here at the UI libraries using the ArchivesSpace database. I will demonstrate how to search, read a finding aid, request materials, and cite archival materials. Most archival collections at the University of Iowa are not in our main catalog, InfoHawk Plus. To find them, you will need to navigate to ArchivesSpace, or ASpace for short. Its URL is linked in the description of this video. So here we are. Let's get started with a search from the ArchivesSpace homepage. Notice that the search function defaults to a simple keyword search. But you can use the plus button at the end to add more search terms. Let's find a collection. Say you're interested in Iowa's Black history. A simple search will come up with over 200 responses. There are several ways to filter your results using the right-hand menu. You can filter by date, type, or repository. You can also combine more specific keywords for a more sophisticated search. Let's go back to the home page and try a multiple keyword search. Black women and Cedar Rapids. This will bring up results that include both terms. From the results page, we can filter by repository, Iowa Women's Archives, and by subject. Let's go with personal papers. Now we're down to 5 results. Each result represents a collection of physical and sometimes digital materials. These can include things like letters, diaries, meeting minutes, flyers, or even t-shirts. You can see each one lists inclusive dates, which repository houses the collection, and maybe most importantly, an abstract that summarizes the person's life. Lilia Harris was a professional volunteer active in several arts, civic, educational, and religious organizations in Cedar Rapids. Let's get more detail by selecting her collection. The Lilia Harris papers, like every archival collection, are described using a finding aid or a collection guide. A finding aid has elements of a summary, a table of contents, an index, and a catalog record. It's important to know that the finding aid is a guide, not a complete inventory. It won't list every item in a collection. It's meant to give you an idea of whether you want to use a collection and which part of it you should request. When you evaluate a finding aid, pay attention to the following elements. Dates. The creation date shows you when materials in the collection were created. They may or may not overlap with a person's lifetime. Extent. Archival collections are measured in linear feet, representing how much space a collection takes up on the shelf. Use this to plan how much time you'll need to view a collection. Some can be hundreds of feet long. Lilia Harris's papers are a more manageable 3.1 linear feet. Historical note. The biographical historical note will contain a summary of a person's life or organization's existence. In this biographical note, we can see that Lilia Harris was involved in community activities that tackled problems of inequality, like the Cedar Rapids Human Rights Commission. The scope and content note at the top will show you series in the archival collection. Collections are organized into series, often based on a theme. You can think of them like book chapters. This note will give you a summary of each series. See that Harris's community involvement is listed in the Cedar Rapids Community Activities series. Finally, You can use the collection organization window on the right-hand side of the screen to get a more detailed view of the collection. Often, this section lists the collection's content down to the names of every file folder. By clicking on the Cedar Rapids Community Activities series, we can find the Human Rights Commission and see that the collection includes its annual reports. If you'd like to read those reports, you can't do it online. There are far too many materials in the archives to digitize them all, but you can use them in the reading rooms at the main library or request scans of small amounts of materials to be sent to you. To do that, we'll start by selecting a file we'd like to see. The page for this file gives me the physical storage information. It's in Box 5. It also reveals a button labeled Aeon Request in the top right hand of the screen. If you don't see the button, double-check the Collection Organization tab on the right. The Aeon Request button will only appear at the lowest levels of the collection. Make sure you've selected a file or an item, not a series or a collection. So we've pulled up the file and the Aeon Request button is active. Aeon is Special Collections and Archives' patron request system. To learn more about it, you can view our video on making an Aeon account. For now, let's assume you have one. Clicking the button takes you to Aeon's homepage. You can log into your account using your Hawk ID and password. Here's our request. It's missing required information, so we'll have to edit it before submitting it. So we'll check the box next to the request and click Edit Request. This takes us to a new page with the request details. Most of the fields are already completed. We just need to choose when to visit by selecting Submit Request, choosing a date on the calendar, and clicking Submit. You can also choose to save for later. Instead of being pulled from the shelf and held in the reading room, your request will be saved in your Aeon account for you to review and submit later. You can only use 6 boxes in the reading room at once, but you can save requests for later research trips using this button. If you decide to use the papers in an assignment, you'll need to cite it. You can return to ASpace and find the folder you used. Once you're on the right page, select the Citation button in the top right, and a citation will be generated for you. Thanks for watching this introduction to ArchivesSpace. Today we reviewed searching with ArchivesSpace, using a finding aid, and requesting and citing materials. I hope you found it helpful. If you have more questions while you are researching, UI Libraries and Special Collections and Archives staff is here to help. Please contact us via email at lib-women@uiowa.edu or lib-spec@uiowa.edu.